The New England Patriots just put the entire NFL on notice. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron on the daily Patriots content. Don't miss out. All you got to do is subscribe, notification bell, and hit the like button. Absolutely just cock back and just bam that like button. It'd mean the world to me, as well as subscribe and all the other things. So don't miss out, guys. We got one preseason game left, and then it is the Las Vegas Raiders. Still does not sound good off my tongue. I continue to want to say the Oakland Raiders, but it is what it is. So today, though, the New England Patriots continuing to put the NFL on notice. A lot of people's heads turning specifically for this player. We're going to jump into that as well. We're going to jump into a signing the Patriots made. May or may not be intriguing to you. Who knows? As well, we got to talk about Elliot Wolf's comments. I was going to lead with that story, but in my opinion, it is not as big as people are trying. People are trying to blow it up into something more than it is, and we'll talk about that. So don't miss out. Stay tuned for this episode. First and foremost, Tayvon Henderson, we know is an absolute dog. Brian Flores came out and was saying, hey, listen, I told my linebackers that if Minnesota was playing New England, his defense would game plan Henderson number one first, and that Henderson would be the first guy we'd take out of the game. Now, let me be clear. When I say that, and when Flores says that, he's not referring to injure him, hurting him, anything like that. The whole point of taking him out of the game is, hey, who are our big ticket players that can make explosive plays, who are going to be dangerous, that we need to contain? Tayvon Henderson, in his eyes, is number one. Again, the Patriots are putting the NFL on notice. Tayvon Henderson is going to be an absolute beast. It's not much we're hearing about Ramondre Stevenson. I'm not saying Ramondre Stevenson is going to play bad. I'm not saying that at all. I don't wish that on him. But Tayvon Henderson was an absolute steal. Him being the fourth running back. You have Genty for the Raiders. His first preseason game was rough. I think he had negative yards, if I remember correctly. Omarion Hampton playing for the Chargers. That's a run-heavy offense. But again, you have Judkins, who the heck knows what's going to happen with him and the Browns. And then you have Tayvon Henderson. I will argue Tayvon Henderson possibly could have the best rookie season of any running back, of any rookie running back. And you might laugh at me. You might exit out of this video, but I truly, firmly believe that. Sure, these have been preseason games, but these are just little snippets of what this man can do. If you watched him at Ohio State, he was a problem. Again, I will tell you, one of the best plays ever was the play. They were playing Notre Dame. I believe they were going into half, and they throw him on a little screen, wheel route, whatever it was, and boom, he busts off for 75 yards, touchdown, in a big game changer. I believe that was Notre Dame. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was the game. But the man is explosive. He's turning heads. Brian Flores, a big-time defensive coordinator for a team who made the playoffs last year. Him saying this is huge. Listen, the NFL, you've been warned. You've been told. All right? Tayvon Henderson is coming, and the man means business. And this offense is going to be much harder to deal with than it was last year. So comment below. Brian Flores comments, what are your thoughts? Would you agree? If you don't have Tayvon Henderson as that number one, game plan number one, who is it for you? Is it Stephon Diggs? Is it Ramondre Stevenson? Is it someone else? Is it Hunter Henry? Who is it for you? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But again, this is only good for the Patriots. It shows they made the right choice. And I know I have said this 100 times, but I'm so glad they did not trade that pick to the Bears or the Panthers. So glad. Tayvon Henderson is going to do well in Josh McDaniels' defense. He's going to do well for the Patriots. He's going to blow a lot of people away. Just buckle up. Wait for the Raiders. If you haven't drafted in fantasy, don't sleep on Tayvon. Don't sleep on Tayvon. I'm in 2 dynasty leagues. I got him in 1. So I was very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. So anyways, moving forward. So tell me who you think, who your number one is. Is it Henderson? Is it someone else to game plan for if you're the opposing team? Next up, we got to jump into these comments. Elliot Wolf came out. He was asked, would he be willing to give up a first or second round pick? And he responds with this. This is what he responds with. If there's a player out there that we feel like can help us, and if it costs that, then we would consider doing that. Listen, any smart, front office person is going to tell you that. Anyone should. Any single, I know he's not the GM, but any GM should say that verbatim, basically. Listen, if they're going to help our team and it is worth it, we are going to pull the trigger and do that. Yes, 100%. That should not surprise anyone. But I think a lot of headlines are coming out ever since the whole Trey Hendrickson. The Bengals are listening to trade offers, all these different things. You have Micah Parsons, though I believe Micah Parsons and Terry McLaurin will both end up with their respective teams in the Commies and the Cowboys. But the Bengals, I will tell you this. I had a buddy. I had a still obviously my buddy, but his dad worked for a company outside of Cincinnati. The company had season tickets. They had a suite, whatever it is. And every year they got invited to renew those, and they would go to a dinner. And the dinners were nothing extraordinary. And I kind of laughed, and I was like, oh, like, was it just sirloin steak instead of a filet mignon or ribeye? And they're like, no, like, you got stadium hot dogs, which blew my mind. Blew my mind. And so the Bengals are cheap. The Bengals are cheap. Also, Jamar Chase, paying him a ton. T. Higgins, even though they got him on a franchise tag, paying him a ton. Joe Burrow, paying him a ton. Trey Hendrickson, he's an all-pro edge rusher, pro bowler. Pay the man. But if they're not going to, and again, as Elliot Wolf said, we go back to his comments, would he be willing to give up a first or second round pick? Yes, if it helps the team, if it's worth it for the team. You weigh the pros and cons. If the pros weigh more, especially significantly more, heck yeah. If Trey Hendrickson is on the table for the New England Patriots, yes. But I think the issue with this headline is people, just like in this, it's people are making the connection between the two, saying, well, okay, does that mean the Patriots are incredibly interested and they're going to go after Trey Hendrickson? I'm trying not to butcher the name. I know it's Hendrickson, but it catches me off guard. I have a student with the same last name. Anyways, beside the point. I just think how they worded this, how they said this, how they set this up is very uncanny. How it lines up with the whole Trey Hendrickson thing. Is it possible, again, the Patriots take a chance on him, give a trade offer? Sure. But as of right now, the teams interested, as I've read, as I've looked up, one of them is not the Patriots. So he's on his final year. He's holding out. If he doesn't get paid, who knows what's going to happen? It seems like it's a pretty heavy stalemate. But again, we can't take what Elliot Wolf said and then immediately say, well, that means he's going after Trey Hendrickson. No, it does not. No, it does not. It's Elliot Wolf saying what should be obvious for anyone in NFL organization, anyone in professional sports. If we would be willing to give up this trade capital if this and this, which would help us a lot, then yeah, we would do it. That's common sense. It's common sense, ladies and gentlemen. So comment below. Tell me what you think. Though I would like Trey Hendrickson. I think it would be great. Micah Parsons would be great. I don't disagree. But they're going to be a lot of money. A lot of money. And I'll tell you what. Guess who else we're going to have to pay a lot of money to? Gonzo. Drake May. Down the road, we're going to have to pay some people. So again, I know we have some cap space, but unless it was a good deal, like Elliot Wolf said, just in general, if it's a good deal, pull the trigger, make it happen. But I don't see that happening. So comment below, tell me what you think. And I'm sure we will be talking about this more in the days to come. Last but not least, Phil Lutz signed to the Patriots. Wide receiver, they're making moves. We're talking, we're at the bottom kind of tier when it comes to signing players. Great career at Delaware. Before that, Tufts, Division III dog. Good for him. The only issue is he's not going to make the team. He's not going to make the team. Practice squad? Yeah, probably a practice squad type of guy. I could definitely see that. And so, you already have Baker and Polk who are literally trying to tiptoe across, a lake, and it is thin. We're talking a half an inch of ice, and they're trying to make it across. That is how they're trying to make it across to make the team, and it doesn't look like it's going to be good for them. So I'm not going to come out and tell you Phil Lutz is going to make the team. I don't think so. It was fun watching his highlights, I'll tell you that. Delaware, good school. They are Division I, single A now, if you didn't know that, FBS. So they, I believe, are in Conference USA. I could be wrong when I say that. Love college football too. Just had to throw that in there. But anyways, Phil Lutz, kind of a cool name too. What are your thoughts? Anything? Tayvon Henderson, who's the number one guy that defenses need to prepare for if they're playing the Patriots? What are your thoughts on Elliot Wolf, what he had to say? Trey Hendrickson, comment below. Would love to hear from you. You guys rock. Hit the sub button on your way out. We'll talk later. Peace.